everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie. I'm hanging out today. I had to shut all the doors and windows because they're mowing. I'm sorry if you hear it, but I'm in the city now staying with my sister, and this whole street is all apartment complexes. I think they just do them all in one day, so it'll be a while before the lawnmower out there stops. So again, I apologize if you hear any weed whacking or anything like that. I did shut the windows. Hopefully you don't. But anyway, I got the job. Yay! I got a call this morning from the temp agency. I still have to hear back from the actual job and set up my drug test, and then figure out the logistics. I gotta give them a copy of my driver's license and social security card or birth certificate, one of the other. So there's some details. I'm hoping to start next week. But anyway, I got the job, so that was good. Good money too. The hours are, I like it because I only work Monday through Thursday. They are 11-hour shifts, but I'm okay with that because then I have Friday through Sunday off to just do what I want. That's awesome. They do have volunteer overtime on Saturdays every once in a while, so if I want to pick up more hours, I can. But again, it's not forced. And after a year of working in the company, I start collecting stock as an owner. So this is like a really good job. So I'm really excited. Just sitting by the phone today, waiting for all that stuff to be done. So I figured I'd do a reading. I can always pause it if I need to. My hair is crazy today. Sorry. We're just winging it, guys. I'm living out of a suitcase, going with the flow. Where to start on these decks? Let's start with Believe in Your Own Magic. Again, I'm just going to do a random reading, see what comes out. It could be love, life, career, what have you. This one's been coming out so much. I don't usually pull that many, but I feel like somebody out there needs personal advice. So, we're going with it. Next, we'll do Nature's Whispers. My nephew has school today, so gotta do these while it's quiet. He's only 3, so it's not like technically school yet. He just goes for 2 hours to learn. I think they just sing and eat snacks and learn manners, getting him ready for pre-K. He'll be 4 in January. He was born on New Year's Day in an ambulance because he couldn't wait to come out. So right at the new year, he'll be 4 and starting pre-K. And he plays soccer, and it's so cute with his little uniform. Oh my God, I love it. I just want to hang out on the kids' soccer field. Girl or boy team, it doesn't matter. They're just adorable at that age. Like, getting them to pay attention is hilarious. Got them all out in the field, and they're like talking to each other, and you're like, hey, get the ball. And they're like, oh yeah, we're playing soccer. It's a fun age. One little girl was, it wasn't my nephew's team, but I saw them. One little girl was off picking flowers in the middle of her game. That would be me. Kids are funny. What next? We'll do the Quantum Oracle. And then the last 2 decks I'll wait because we're running out of room here. Oh, geez. Anyway, with this job, I should be getting my own place very soon. Gotta get my baby back, my dog. And my car, hopefully, they said about 2 weeks. So I'll only be wheelless for 2 more weeks. Everything's finally lining back up. I hope it's lining up for you out there because I feel you if you're struggling. because I just went through some shit myself. Still going through it. Alright. It's about as much room as I have right now. Let's get into this. This is the card I said comes out all the time for these readings. I'm doing protest, start a revolution. This is for the people out here that walked out of their job on Monday, going against the shot mandate. So this would be like a police officer, a teacher, medical personnel. I don't know if this whole reading's for you or if we're just starting off with that. They're taking me to this lady right here. So you could be protesting what happened in Afghanistan as well. Or protesting and trying to help Afghan women. Thank God if you are. They need you right now, for sure. Not just the women, but all the civilians. Potion. Remember to practice self-love. So this is, to me, is like finding that time to meditate and calm and breathe, because I feel like you're going through a very turbulent time. It's especially if you did walk out of your career. That's not an easy decision. You know, people think, oh, they're just doing it for attention or they're just doing it for unemployment, but you don't get unemployment if you quit. That's true for every kind of situation. So they're not just walking out because they want to be difficult. This is something they genuinely believe in. And that's not an easy situation to come to. And now you're stressed. Like, what am I going to do for work? I have this career that I can't work in because I heard what was good is not good enough now. What does that mean? I don't know why I keep seeing a nurse, but it's like you worked through this whole entire pandemic, risking your life every day without the shot, and now they're punishing you for it. And I just feel like you're at the spot, like, what's the difference? You wanted me to work and take care of all these people and put my life and my family at risk, and, you know, it was okay then, but when it's my choice, it's not okay. There's a lot of anger here. I don't blame you at all. We have gold. You don't need someone else to fix you. You don't need someone to tell you what to put in your own body. I think Spirit's backing you up here. For all of you who did walk out of your jobs, Spirit is applauding you. It's not like they're for or against the shot. It's not like Spirit is picking sides, because that Spirit is always pro-choice in everything. You have your right to choose your own path. They can only persuade you so much, but at the end of the day, you have a choice in the life you want to lead. And the fact that you're risking all of this and you're sticking to your convictions, that's something that the angels and Spirit really respects. You don't need someone to set a standard for you. You need to set your own standard. So if you really are one of these people who walked out in protest, you're very stressed out, this is you home trying to protect your choice. There could be people in your life telling you that maybe you're stupid for doing this, or they think you're making a mistake. That's not their life, it's yours. So stay with your convictions. And you don't need someone else to tell you what to do. If you, in your heart, feel like getting the shot is the right thing to do, that's the right calling for you. If you, in your heart, feel like it's wrong, then it is wrong for you. And they're taking me down here. This wasn't even on the board. But yeah, this is going to be a fight that not just you're fighting. A lot of people in 44, this is something spiritually, I heard, marked. Ooh, this is what I was scared of too. This is why I won't get it either. It's not so much like the religious, although it does have a little bit to do with it, and the Bible being marked I think a lot of people are feeling that way in a religious aspect. So I could be picking up on your beliefs here. But I do think, when I say being marked, I do think they're putting tracers in our bodies for spyware. People think I'm crazy for saying that, but I've asked my guides time and time and time again, and they always tell me, no, don't get it. And I also have the same gene my grandpa had. My grandpa was paralyzed by a flu shot, and my guides adamantly tell me not to get the shot because I will have a allergic reaction to it in an extreme sense. So I will fight to the death not to get this shot, and I feel like you are too. I don't know if you are more in the religious aspect where you feel like it's an evil, or you're just on the part of science where you don't think it's safe, because I also feel that way as well. But I'm really, with all this consensus shit that happened, and I'm one of those people that ripped up the consensus and refused to fill it out because I feel like they were trying to do population control for my poor class people, and because so many people protested it, now they're trying to do away with the census. Why are all of a sudden they trying to do away with the consensus? How are they going to count the people? Because they're making you all get a shot, and they're putting a tracer in your ass so they can listen in anytime they want. They can always know where you are. They can know your health information. They could know before you that you have the virus. This is where, I don't know if they're at that point right now, but every new shot that's coming out, it's a new kind of tracer, at least in my beliefs. I'm not trying to shove my beliefs down your throat. If you got the shot, I'm happy for you. Don't feel bad for what I say. Like I said, everybody has to make that decision for themselves. I think I just feel like I'm talking to the ones that are saying no right now. Evil Queen. Yeah, you do feel like the shot is evil, that will do some kind of harm to your body. And with this too, you feel like the shot is dividing people and taking away their rights, which I fully support as well. Lioness, you've earned all your stripes. I think you've known, like I said, I keep seeing a nurse, so I feel like maybe you've been in this fight since the beginning. You've been a nurse for a long time. You might have seen a lot of vaccines come out that messed people up because they pushed it too soon. Also have her reading fairy tales. They're taking me to, I think you are on to the fact that the government is selling a fairy tale, but this shot is an end-all, cure-all, and you as a medical professional, or in your religious believings, or as a scientist, you are saying bullshit. I don't think you feel this shot is necessary at all. All right, let's get some more. I didn't expect this to all be about the shot, the vaccine. Expansion. I think a lot of people are going to be sailing away, doing their own things, finding new careers that aren't mandating the shot. Seeing this handshake. I think right now it's being forced, but let me be very clear here. As soon as we get rid of the Democrats, and I'm a Democrat, well, not anymore. From 18 till last year, I was a Democrat. I will never call myself a Democrat ever again. I'm so disgusted by this party and this shot business. But I do feel like as soon as we get a new president, this isn't going to be something that's mandated. And I think there's going to be a lot of civil rights lawsuits on people fighting back, saying it's against your American rights to force this shot. And if you're not American, whatever country you're in, I do feel like if you're being pressured to get the shot as well, that's going to change. We just got to wait for precedent to be set, which means we have to wait for somebody to sue and get in the court, because there is no precedent in the courtroom set for a COVID-19 vaccine. There's no real recorded anything about it in the law right now. Although the President of the United States saying it's mandatory and putting this out, it just now got signed. So if you were pressured by your job before that bill was officially passed, you have grounds to sue, because if you were forced by your job before it was a legal mandate, that is in fact taking away your rights as an American citizen. So anybody who is forced by their job to have this shot before the mandate in the areas that the president mandated, that is grounds for a lawsuit. And even now, with the deadline come and gone, it's still grounds to sue because of religious differences. I don't think they're honoring that. Trust your own understanding. Exactly. Trust your own choice in getting this vaccine. Like I said, if you want it, hey, I'm not talking shit on you. I just don't like the fact that it's forced. If you come to that conclusion on your own, I fully support you. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel healthy. And if that's what you're comfortable with, I'm happy for you and I would like to see you get that shot. But I don't want you to have it forced down your throat. This is what I feel like who I'm talking to, the people who have walked out also feel that way in this collective energy. They don't want to be forced. I don't know if all of you are against the shot or you're just not ready to get it right now. Maybe you want to wait a little bit to see if there's any side effects, because a lot of people are also in that boat. They're not necessarily against it. They just don't think people know enough about it at this time for it to be safe. So you have a lot of people on the fence, really uncomfortable. I can't speak for all of the world, but when the shots first came out, our area got hit with the Johnson & Johnson one first, and so many people got COVID and got other curious, like, rando illnesses from it. Remember, they recalled the Johnson & Johnson shot the first time, and they hit it in our poor area first. So everybody who got the shots around here, the Johnson & Johnson one, got sick, got COVID. That created such an element of mistrust. I don't think anyone's even buying Johnson & Johnson baby products. That's so bad in my area. And I can't speak for the whole world, but we were the ones that got the first shots. I think we got other kinds, but for the majority of our area, because we're poor class, Johnson & Johnson is what they're pushing on us, and we don't feel comfortable. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up, because I feel like this is talking to the collective. Whoever those nurses, doctors, and policemen are, I feel like people in your area got sick too in the beginning. And what the president doesn't realize is they fucked up so many times with these shots. And it's not covered on the news. It's only known in the areas locally and the local news. It's not like world news. If the world found out how many people in my city got sick from the first Johnson & Johnson shot and what exactly happened to these people, nobody would trust the shot either. We have fair reason and good reason not to trust the shot. We have people here that are now sterile, both men and women, that cannot have children as a side effect to this vaccine. So yes, there is a lot of things unknown, and that's what makes people uncomfortable. So Spirit is saying, trust your own understanding. If you are comfortable with it, if you feel like it is going to help, by all means, follow your own gut. If you are like me and you're hesitant and the science just doesn't support it, trust that inner knowing. Trust that if you feel like something bad's going to happen to you if you get this shot, I want you to trust that feeling. Because the government isn't going to protect you. You have to sign a waiver to get that shot. So if you have any kind of side effects, they're not going to protect you. They're not going to help you with your medical payments. So trust that intuition. Don't set yourself up for failure. There's going to be different jobs. Well, I think they're making professors get it too. Don't worry, as soon as this president and this Democratic Party is out, they're going to reverse and retrace their steps and get rid of this mandate. Assurance. Yeah, Spirit wants to assure you that they're with you, that they will support whatever you feel is best for your body. They do not at all support a forced vaccine at this time. I think in the past we have had other, like polio. That was a very serious disease and a lot of people were getting it and they had a lot of long-term effects, and that took years to master that vaccine. But once it was secured years later. When it first came out, nobody wanted that vaccine either. Same with smallpox. Same with all the other ones that we are mandated to get. It took years for people to be comfortable in getting that and giving it to their children. It was only when it was mandated that the kids had to have it for school that it was openly accepted. And even then there was some pushback because people thought that the government were using their children as guinea pigs. And just like any other process, when smallpox vaccines came out, when polio vaccines came out, they made a lot of mistakes and people had a lot of serious side effects. So trust that inner knowing. Spirit will give you that intuition within yourself. If you're really feeling pulled to get that shot, if you really think that's the right thing to do, then I think that's Spirit saying that you're going to be okay. But if you are hesitant at all in any way, you shouldn't do it. Trust your instincts. Don't wind up as one of those people that the government fucks over and just brushes under a rug because they don't want the world to find out what they're really doing or what it can really cause, because they're gonna bury your situation in the deepest, darkest pit and make sure nobody knows about it because they don't want it to get out. They don't want other people to get the shot because of what happened to you, and that's happening worldwide at this time. Accumulation of vision. Trust that inner vision. Trust that. See these butterflies over here? The world's going to transform. A lot of people don't sit right with this shot, and it's literally tearing our country in half. We're headed towards a civil war at this point. Massively. Even worse than the first one. So I think that change is going to come before that happens, because I think either the government's not going to have a choice, the people might rise up and enough power for them to have to step back, or maybe they're going to realize they're not going to get elected if they don't change their stance. But change is going to come. Accumulation of vision. What you see, like there are going to be people who got the shot, and like anywhere from now into the next decade, there is going to be things that come out that are caused by this shot. That is 100% guaranteed with this card. That's what I'm seeing. So if you are the ones that walked out and you are the ones that are refusing it, you're being spared for a reason. So listen to it. Potential gateway. To me, this is saying, again, backing up the fact, like Spirit doesn't choose sides. I think if they're really going to speak to you hard, if something bad's going to happen to you, your intuition is going to go off. I do feel like everybody gets a warning about that. It's whether you pay attention or you don't. But I think a lot of you are, this is a representative of, this is a potential gateway to a new world order of the government having absolute control over what we're doing. And for some of you, it's not fighting the shot because you don't believe in the shot. It's fighting the control the government has for some of you. We have increase. So all of you who walked out of your job, I think either you're going to find a new job or you're going to band together. Maybe create your own way of practices that don't mandate the shot, that continue to just have their workers be tested every week. They could fight in that aspect, but I feel like you're going to be rewarded for sticking up for your convictions. Oh, yay! One second. My sister got her job today, too. One sec. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to text her back. My sister I'm staying with, she applied for a stay-home job because, again, she's 6 months pregnant. She's about to be a new mom. She's already got a 3-year-old, and now she's single. So a stay-at-home job is perfect for her, and it's good money. So I'm excited. We both got our jobs today. Anyway, this increase. Oh, my God. Why? It's so glary, and the sun's super bright, but I'm not complaining because I'm in Syracuse, New York, so it's not going to be so many nice days left before snow comes. I think there is going to be an increase in COVID numbers as well. I think this Delta variant is going to be a problem, and I don't think the shot is going to be helpful with it. Not even the boosters. That's what I'm hearing. Disagree if you wish. I'm not forcing my opinions, but I feel like that isn't a warning from Spirit. A conscious of lack. This is people, why they're going against the shot so much is they lack confidence in the government and they lack confidence in the science behind it. And a lot of people are out here thinking that government's just out for the control. They now believe that they're the underdogs. This change is not good. This change is not good for people. They're feeling forced. They're feeling like it's an obligation to do exactly what the government says or they're going to lose everything, and that's not a good feeling. That's like a dictator, not a president. But we do have great gratitude here. I think you're going to be very thankful for the choice you made. I think all of those out there that got the shot and feel good about it and don't have any side effects, I think you're going to be thankful that you stayed with it and got your job. But all of the people that walked out, I think you're going to be thankful as well, because I think there is going to be side effects. I think that this is a strike against our constitutional rights, and I think in the end your side is going to take the victory here, as in not knocking it out as a mandatory requirement, at least in the United States. The loving woman. So to me, this is talking about nurturing. And with number 6, people on top, despite whoever made what choice, despite whoever made what choice on get the shot or don't, we need to love each other and be supportive. Like I said, everybody has to make that choice for themselves. So if they didn't choose to lose their job and they choose to stay, don't get upset with them, because that's what they feel is right. Just like you not getting the shot and walking out of your job is something you felt was right. Don't judge each other, because I feel like if we fight each other, that civil war is going to happen. I think ultimately that's kind of what the government wants. They want us to be fighting each other and ripping each other apart. So we're so caught up in that we're not paying attention to what they're doing. And right now, we need to stop fighting each other and fighting our own choice and turn and look at the government and pay attention to what they're doing. Regardless, shot or not, do you feel it is within your constitutional rights to say, get this shot or lose your job? Ooh, that might be my job. Hold on. Spam. This reading's getting interrupted. Maybe you're getting a lot of interruptions too. But anyway, my sister's interruptions at least was a good one. Yeah, new beginnings are around the corner here. I think this is going to be settled. A new cycle. A lot of people are uncomfortable. Like I said, doesn't matter what side you are on this shot. People are uncomfortable with the fact that they're being forced. I think everybody wants to come to that conclusion on their own, especially for their children and themselves. And so I think ultimately in the near future, some changes are going to be made with government due to backlash from people protesting and filing these lawsuits and setting precedent in the courtroom about this COVID vaccine. Because at the end of the day, every pandemic in the history of everdom, there's been some kind of vaccine that comes from it. And eventually, I think it was mandatory. However, we're in a new age and a new time, and science is a lot better than when polio, even when AIDS came out. We are so far advanced that I feel like we could be going about it better as a country and as a world. And until people feel comfortable and safe, you're going to have riots. You're going to have that potential of a civil war, because our choices, we're not being heard. We're being silenced and we're being forced. And anytime you do that to the United States, there's going to be a buck back here. And I think new beginnings are on the horizon. There's going to, especially when a new president comes in, I can't speak for the rest of Biden's term. I don't think he'll be mentally sound to run again. So I wouldn't worry about him getting back in after Afghanistan, after the forced mandates, after pulling unemployment and leaving all these people homeless and hungry. He doesn't have a shot in hell of ever becoming president again. I live in New York. We are a Democratic state, and he's losing popularity here by the thousands. And by the time the election comes, I project my state to now be a Republican state. A lot of nurses and doctors and school teachers and police officers here walked out on Monday. We have a shortage. You can't even have a baby at the hospital because there's not enough doctors to deliver babies right now. It's serious where I live. So there's enough people bucking back that new beginning, that new stance on things is going to have to happen, at least in my state. It might be a state-to-state fight or a country-to-country fight, but all they're saying is something's going to come out of this where that forced is going to be pulled from the president's clutch. And I think they're going to have to pay out a lot of money for these people that lost their careers and for these people that have side effects. They're going to come after the Democratic Party for this the hardest, especially if we get another Republican president in. New supportive connections. Yes, you're going to meet other people out there. Ooh. Sorry, I made breakfast. I think I have like bagel under there or something. Or pancake for my nephew. New supportive connections. Lean on the people that believe like you. I think even if you have to go work in another field temporarily, you're going to find, in like my new job that I got isn't force mandating anybody. I might have to get tested randomly, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting tested every couple weeks because I do agree with keeping people safe. I'm not out here just being a dick, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are the same. If that option to test out every week over getting the shot, if that would have stayed, I think that would have appeased a lot of people. But that forced mandate isn't sitting well with anyone. Even the people who got it, they feel like they were forced to, you know what I mean? So it doesn't sit right that it's in their body, and they're now worried about things. We have new supportive connections. Again, I just feel like, I don't know why I heard a new party rising. Maybe we're going to get a whole different kind of party that comes in. Because let's face it, I think the whole world's fed up with both the Democrats and the Republicans. They're both assholes, and they're both taking our rights. We have a milestone here. Although this is chaotic and hectic times for our country and a people, we are going to rise above this, and we are going to do better. It's just going to require better leaders. The president has to go, the vice president has to go, Hochul has to go, and Nancy Pelosi needs to go. I'm sorry. That spirit is agreeing. They're corrupted. And once we get those people out, at least in my state, I think we're going to have that success. But overall, this to me is also saying we are going to beat COVID. But I don't think we have to make it mandatory to beat it. All right, so wisdom of the oracle. What else do you need to tell your people, Spirit? Because I feel like they're speaking to both people. People who have gotten it, people who are fighting against it. I think Spirit's just calling out the government here, and I don't think they support this new world order. I've been hearing that. I've been seeing stuff in my sleep, this new world order. New world order, new world order. They keep saying it like an echo. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I don't think anyone's going to like it. It's not a positive or in the light situation. And it's not just in our country. These are world leaders banding together to create a new world order. The end of what we know and the beginning of another. And I think the people are going to suffer most for it. But let's see what the cards say. Our forefathers, at least in our country, set up a system to protect us from the government ever doing this. And that Constitution is no longer protecting anyone. And it hasn't been for at least a decade. Well, since the Patriot Act was in existence, to be exact. I can't believe that fucking Bill is still in office. Okay. If I need a clarifier, I'll get more. Yes, this is all happening exactly how it's meant to. I think a lot of our answers are going to come in with all these clovers. All these people that lost your job, something is coming from this. This is something that was absolutely written. No place like home. Okay, the time is now. Everybody, wherever you are in the world, whether it's statewide, countrywide, or Europe, wherever you are, it's time to focus on your home and where you live and what changes you can make in that environment before we start taking on the government as a whole. This is coming home to what you believe in, coming home to yourself, and making that decision. Do I want this shot or don't I? If I don't want this shot, do I need to fight? It's going to be like perfect timing with this rise up I'm hearing. Yes, trust your intuition about this shot. Only you can make the choice. Nobody should be forced, and Spirit is definitely backing that up here. Trust that instinct. If you feel like something is going to be wrong, trust it. Spirit's trying to warn those who are going to be hurt by this shot. Think about it deeply before you make that decision. Before you make any decision, whether the mandate is there or not, but number 44 is also another holy number. This is also, to me, a confirmation if you've been thinking that something bad is going to come out of this, like me. I've had a lot of doom and gloom thoughts myself. Why? Really think about why you feel that way. And why do I feel that way is because we're losing control as people. And I think a lot of us are starting to know that, whether we're voicing it or not, we're thinking about this. And like I said, this decision to get a shot has to come within you. We have mending here. With the thinking and mending, I think we need to find a way, like I said. We can't blame the other people that got shots, and we can't blame the people that didn't get the shots, because that's dividing us as a country or any country that you live in. And again, it's what the government wants. They want us distracted. They would rather us fight each other than all of us stand together and fight them. I think people are really thinking hard on how we can bring people back together. How can we get these nurses and doctors back in here? Like, we need people to deliver babies. My sister's pregnant right now. And, there's only 2 hospitals in the area right now that are delivering babies. So what's going to happen after Monday? Because it hasn't been told to us yet if other hospitals have to shut down for that. What are we going to do with all these women? And all these surgeons that walked out. And, we as a people need you. So we need the government to get their shit together. And we need to find a way to make this right. Because people need to get back to work. Yeah, but this is all about balance. People have to feel secure. And they have to feel ready to get this shot. This shot cannot be mandated for the betterment of the world and people. This decision, as of right now, in the early stages of this vaccine, should still be a choice. The fact that it's being forced for some and not the others is also unfair. So yeah, we need to bring balance back. Now is not the time to be mandating it. There's not enough known about it. There's not enough support. There's not enough reassurance for this shot to be projected as something that's safe for a lot of people. Here and now, the changes among us, because this mandate just happened, at least in my state, Monday was the cutoff point. You either had to have the shot or you lose your job. That's in the here and now. So the rise up is coming. Because this is fated. The government is fated to fall. They've been abusing their power. They've been abusing their privileges for centuries. And what goes around comes around. And everything that is not to the betterment of humankind and human beings will fall. Including this new world order that they're trying to pull off right now. Watch. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to how you feel. Look and see the bigger picture. Don't just take what you hear on the news as truth. You have to really do your due diligence here because, yeah, a new life, that new world order is trying to come in here. And we need to take back our control as people. I'm talking to the people. I'm not talking about government officials here. We as a people, shot or no shot, need to come together and stop fighting each other and stop saying, hey, you didn't get the shot and you're the reason why people are getting sick, or hey, you got the shot so you're a traitor. This needs to stop in order for us to stand on our own 2 feet and do better. But we are going to get a leg up with that. I think we are going to get help to start this new beginning. And I think that leg up will be the government getting checked in the courtroom that this mandate is unethical at this point. Now, maybe 5-6 years down the road, when they really have years worth of researching and testing people, I think that they will get the mandate to make that mandatory then. But at this point in time, Spirit's not comfortable with it either. They just want you to know that. Yeah. We need to co-create as people. We need to coexist. No shot and shot people. We still need to work together. We still need to figure this out. Because we can't be forcing people to do something they're not comfortable with doing. We need to co-create as a community and say this is not okay. Like, if you did get the shot, you have to come to the point where, you know what? If they're scared to get the shot, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Especially if they don't want to give their shot to their children or to older people in their family. Everybody's got to be comfortable with their decision. And the same thing goes the other way. For the people who got the shot to choose to keep their jobs, even if they feel forced, I think there's a lot of anger and resentment. Like, why didn't you stand with us? If you stood with us and said no and they had nobody here, we would get what we wanted accomplished more, which is true, but at the same time, you have to respect the fact that they have mouths to feed. They have responsibilities. They've worked hard to get those careers and get to the positions they are. And I think some people just feel like it's easier to give in than to give up, especially in this world. It's really scary to be without a job. Trust me. I just got a job today. Like, I didn't think I was ever going to find a job. It's a very unsure and uncertain world. So we can't be beating each other up because I can honestly see both sides. I'm adamantly against the shot, but I do understand why people are doing it to keep the shot. And honestly, if my job were to say, because I just went through this whole struggle to find a job, if this job said, we're going to need you to get the shot or lose your job, I think that I would be the one that felt forced. Like, I can't go back. I can't go backwards. I just struggled for so long. Like, I don't have any savings now because COVID has been going on for so long. My savings are, like, you have to put yourself in the other side of it. I've been fighting this shot and it's been kicking me in the teeth. But as a community, we could co-create a different reality, as in we could make the government say it has to be our choice, at least at this point. The science just isn't there. I don't care if they say it is, it isn't. There's not enough people that feel comfortable with it. If I had a child, there's no way in fucking hell I would ever, no, not a teenager, nothing. If my grandma, she got the shot before, and she died shortly after, so I don't trust it at all. That's my own personal opinion. Do I think a good vaccine will come? Yes. When we have studied this virus for years and we understand the full inner workings, they can't even understand why the Delta variant happened and how it spawned, and they can't even give you those answers. So how the fuck are they going to make a vaccine? It's just not the time to be pressuring it. I'm sorry to be preaching, but I guess this is what Spirit wants to talk about today. We're going to close it out with the awakened soul. Hey, it's on everyone's mind, so it makes sense. Again, I'm really not forcing my beliefs. Please don't get offended if you got the shot. Again, I support you. And I understand even when you felt forced why you did it. Because I've been struggling to find work, too. You got mouths to feed? I get it. I'm blaming the government, not you. You're my brothers and sisters, and I feel like that's how we should be as a people. support each other no matter the decision, but you don't have to support the ones not giving people a choice. There's like some states that still tell women what they can and can't do with their bodies. That in itself needs to change too. So we're still fighting back here for control against the government. They'll fall, don't you worry. Something new will replace it, but it won't be this new world order shit, because that's even worse than the government we have now. Yes, action is being taken. A lot of lawsuits are being filed at this time. Again, we got to get that precedent set in the courtroom, and somebody's going to do it soon. Yeah, change is coming. They're going to change the fact that they're making it mandatory, I'm telling you. Whether it's when the new president comes or whether it comes from a judge, it's going to happen. You're going to get saved if you lost things by sticking to your guns and not getting this shot. Spirit is going to take care of you, especially by making these mandates null and void. Like I said, at least at this time. I think down the road we can have a vaccine everybody feels comfortable with, but that's going to take time and years and study. We're just not there yet. They jumped the gun. Be authentic to your own choice. Be authentic for what is right for you and support the people in your life. Like, I have people in my family that got the shot. I don't hate them. I don't talk crap to them. Like, if they feel good, they mostly did it to keep their jobs. I'm not going to lie. That's the only reason why they got it. They didn't want to lose their job, and they did feel pressured to do it. But they also didn't want to lose out on tickets that they had bought. That's another way they got you. Yes, cleanse out any negativity for, don't hold resentments against your job that you walked out of. Because, listen, at the end of the day, it's not your boss and it's not your coworkers. It's the president and the government. This is who you should be focusing the change on. We can't be taking it out on the companies. Yes, some companies were able to stand up for some time and be like, no, I'm supporting my employees having the right, but then the government cracked that whip and they didn't get a choice either. They don't want to see you go. They don't want to see you walk out of your jobs. So please don't take it out on your coworkers or your bosses. You should be taking that up with Washington. Trust that inner wisdom. If you feel comfortable getting it, get it. If you feel like something's going to go wrong, listen to that. Be smart about what you hear on the TV. Be smart on what you feel is really going on. Trust those instincts. And don't let anyone influence your decision. You really need to make this decision for yourself. And I feel like maybe we're going to be going in isolation again because of this Delta variant. Because I don't think the shot is going to do anything for that, to be honest. Yeah, trust your vision. Trust what you see. If you feel like it's wrong, I'm going to get it back up, but I just feel like that's spirit confirming. Trust your vision with this new world order shit. They're the ones that created this virus. I'll say that until I'm blue in the face. Yeah. Your perspective is your own. You need to come to your own conclusions on things, and you need to trust your own gut. If you support the government, you're not going to listen to any of this, you know what I mean? And that's okay. You don't need to side with me. I support you. But don't let anybody change your truth for you. Come to that on your own. Truth was right on top, yeah. Be true to yourself and what's right for you, and don't worry about anybody else. Try not to panic. Ground yourself. Stay centered with this mantra. To me, this is the grounding in mantra is like everything works out the way it's meant to. If I lost my job because I refused to get the shot, then that is what I was meant to do, and something will come out of this and come into my life that is better. Positive thinking. Speak it into existence. Yeah, nobody knows what's going to happen. We're all kind of walking blindly in this. As long as you follow your intuition and your gut, right, wrong, or indifferent, get the shot or don't, that decision comes from here and not the government. Stay away from things that stress you out. And I really feel like, where'd it go with this? It went somewhere. I really think we might be going back into lockdown. I heard November. Flu season. Oh, maybe it's not the Delta variant. Maybe the flu season is going to be an epidemic in itself this year. Tell me more about this sanctuary. Gratitude. Family. Okay. This is more talking like nobody knows what's going to happen. All you can do is keep yourself protected in your own area. Be thankful for what you still have and do what's best for you and your family. Don't worry about anything else. You got to follow your own gut, like I said, for you and your family. And you should be supported within your community, got the shot or not. We shouldn't be taking it out on each other. You need to be contented and happy with your family decisions. The government has no right to interfere with how you run your family or what you feel is right for you and yours. And they're treading on that. Speak your truth out there. If you don't feel comfortable, say so. Start asking those hard questions at press conferences. Again, be authentic to what you feel is right. Speak your truth. I don't want the shot because, or I got the shot because. We shouldn't be judging each other for it. They're coming in hard about that. We're all going to find the answers we need, and we're meant to treasure our bodies and our minds. And if our bodies and minds are saying no, we're not going to do it. And if our bodies and minds are saying yes, then we do it. Yeah, you are going to get a leg up. I think we are going to get over this. Down the road, we're definitely going to have some kind of vaccine that really works, but it just ain't it right now. Just not it. Now is not the time. Anything else? Sorry. It's just easier to shuffle down there. Oh, God. Shine it. Anything else? Have fun. Don't get so stressed out. Try to enjoy yourself. Don't let it burden you. And set those boundaries with the government and other people in your life. I don't want the shot. I'm not getting it. Or this is keeping that 6 feet apart. Even if you got the shot, you should still be protecting yourself. This, I'm telling you, it isn't going to do shit for this Delta variant. They're going to come out with a whole different vaccine for that. So trust that wisdom. Be smart about the boundaries you set. If people are stressing you out and being toxic, out they go. Too hard. This road's too hard right now. Make it as light as possible and come to that decision in yourself. Even if nothing I said in here should sway your decision either. Like I said, if you got the shot, I ain't mad at you. I'm happy for you. Do you feel good about it? Do you feel like you made the right choice? Awesome. If you said yes, that was the right choice for you. Me personally, I just don't feel like it's right for me. I don't trust it. And anyone out there like me, you know, I'm right in the same boat. But don't judge other people who didn't walk out with you. Don't be too harsh on your employers because they weren't given a choice either. So we're all being forced at this point. Like I said, there's going to be a change in that. So hang in there. I'll see you all again soon. I'm really sorry this was all about the vaccine, but hey, I speak what they tell me to. I'll see you all next time. Love and light. Bye.